Dennis Young and another special guest, Abbie from Mars, New York-based artist, unique musician with a new record out and also a DJ, and we got her story here. So, Abbie, thanks for doing this.
Thanks so much for having me on, Dennis.
Oh, I really enjoy your new record. I mean, it's really, really great. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, just want to talk about what got you interested in music there in Mars, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, well, I feel like I started as a Talking Heads fan. The drummer from Talking
Oh,
Heads went to my high school, so there was a big Stop Making Sense poster in the main hall of my school, signed.
oh, neat.
So I knew that like my parents listened to them, and I was like, oh, that guy, I want to check it out. And I got really into that. I saw Stop Making Sense as a teenager, and I was like, this is so cool. So I was always interested in it from like a music from sort of the performance aspect and the conceptual aspect, where you've got the costume and the choreography and the
Mm,
projections and all of that. So
yeah,
like that was my sort of gateway drug. And then I just got more into music like that. When I got
mm,
to college, I did college radio.
right.
Um, and that was how I started to really get deep into experimental stuff and see like DIY shows in Philadelphia and stuff and
Mm,
realize, oh, like I could do this too. Like the people who are performing at these basements in Philly are just they're just people, I could do
yeah.
that. So
Well, how
yeah.
did you get into the tap dancing? Really is something that really adds to your show, how it choreographs in with your music. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's something I've been doing since I was like tiny, like 4 or 5 or whatever, and
Okay.
signed me up for it, and I, did it every week. And in middle school I wanted to quit. It was just too much, and but my parents were like, no, stick it out. You can get through it. And then I'm really glad that I stuck with it because I think I use it more than ever, or like I think
Mm,
of myself as a tap dancer more than I ever used to. Because I realized not everybody has that, and especially in music world, you don't really see
yeah.
it. So I was like, oh, I have this like thing that I'm like lucky to have learned, and I'm gonna use it because I
It's
have it.
great. I mean, it really adds to your performance. A few times I've seen you, it's like, this is unique. Nobody's doing that. The only time I've ever seen tap dance is on television, Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh
If
yeah.
you see clips of him, I mean, that's the last time I saw that. So what drew you into coming into New York in 2020, right?
Yeah, I was graduating college, crazy time to graduate school, and I had like, I knew I was interested in music. I knew I wanted to be around that. I took a class from Laurie Anderson and Arto Lindsay my
Oh,
senior,
okay.
and that was really inspiring. It was also a class where it was like a spatial audio course. There were 10 of us in it,
Hmm.
um, and we did like sort of like sound designy things. And I started processing my electronic tap or my tap dance with
Hmm.
electronic a little bit before that with another group at college, but did that even more during that class. And so that was a really cool opportunity to flesh it out with like artists that I really admired and looked up to. So getting sort of their like validation and approval of what I was doing and them thinking I was up to something kind of cool made me think like maybe I could do that. And like
Yeah,
you know, New York, that's the place where it all happened, and that's where
that's
they're
right.
from. That's where there's a lot of my favorite artists that I'm listening to are from, and so I just wanted to be a part of it all.
Yeah, that really, really helps. I mean, it's such an energetic city. There's always something happening there. It's never always the energy level is always intense. I know from playing there, it's always, always intense. So
Yeah.
that's great. That really hacks in. So now, before we go on to your records, and let's talk about your radio show, Radioactivity. Now, you've been a DJ. You were a DJ in college.
Yeah, yeah. So the
Wow.
educational advisor of the Princeton station, WPRB, he had spent a lot of years at WFMU. And so
Oh,
he kind of
okay.
like coached us about like, this is a good model of what we're doing. And we went up as students to tour WFMU at some point. So I was like, I always looked at that as like the holy grail of like freeform radio.
It
So,
is.
yeah, yeah. I mean, some of the best stuff out there. Really inspiring and goofy and, characters and
Oh, yeah. From
um,
drones to everything else.
totally.
Now I was curious because you come up with so many different artists and band. How do you find all these people of artists and music? Do you do a lot of research?
Well, some of it's people that I'm performing with in
Oh,
the
okay.
people that I see locally who are like up and coming or whatever, or just like new local artists, DIY artists doing their thing, and then I'll do research as well from like weird lists online and just kind of
Okay.
lives and things. So a whole variety of sources, but yeah, sometimes there's like a connection from New
Now,
York.
are you taking a break from the radio show for a while, or you're gonna do it again? I heard you were going to take a break.
Yeah, yeah. I want to come back eventually, but I'm taking a break for this season. Just with the
Yeah.
album release prep and everything, I was kind of busy, and then my partner's moving to New York this fall,
Oh, great.
long distance thing for almost 2 years. So
Wow. Good for
excited that
you.
he's moving in October, and I just wanted to like have some weekends for that, and not
Yeah, because I could see how that beats up your weekend when you're there till like 3 o'clock in the morning, right? At the station, and then you got to leave, and by the time you're home, right? It's like the
yeah,
graveyard shift, right?
totally. It's a
Yeah,
brutal schedule for my sleep. Yeah.
it is. So I got
Good.
to tell everybody how I met Abbie. I heard you on Clay Pigeon Wake and Bake. I heard an
Yeah.
interview, and I just said, "Wow, there's something special here," and that's when we made the connection.
I'm so
And
glad you reached out.
yeah, to do music, I just felt there was something, some kind of good feel there for my type of music and how this would fit in.
That's so cool. It was so exciting to get your email. I was like, oh my gosh, I love Liquid Liquid. This is
Oh yeah, you listen to us.
so, and now like I'm so stoked that we've collaborated, and it's just
Yeah, I know. Well, it's really great. I played on your record. You've done some stuff with this Primitive Substance group, so it's been there. It is. I got the shirt on too, so it's pretty funny that we had matching shirts here. It's
we didn't even
hysterical. So I want to ask you about the creative process, how you come up with songs. How do you start with the music or lyrics? How does that work for you?
I think it's one or two ways. And I think the first music I ever wrote, I started more from like a lyrical phrase, and then I was like singing it to myself until a melody found its way into it. But lately, I feel like most of my songs are starting with either like a little some drums
Okay.
or line. I'll open up Ableton Live, which is my DAW of choice, and I will just I will hit random like parts of the grid for my like just put random drums in random
Oh,
segments.
okay.
See how it sounds.
Yeah.
Move things around if I'm like, but I kind of am obsessed with chance and like randomness. I even like
Mm,
listen to music with a random system. I like do a random number generator for which album I'll listen to today. So,
okay. Cool.
so I kind of love starting with like something that I didn't plan and then seeing how to turn it into something that like
Well,
feels.
that's always spur of the moment. It's always the best things come out. And also like musicians that do first takes on
Mhm.
records, like they always turn out really good. And then you try it again and it's like, oh, I shouldn't have thought of that. I just should have played it, you
Totally.
know? And
The
then
rock.
you have Bryce playing with you, who's a phenomenal musician. I
Yeah,
mean, where'd
Bryce.
you find him?
Yeah, Bryce. How did we find each other? I think Bryce had followed me on Instagram at some point. Just Bryce is a really good connoisseur of the DIY and
Mm,
always going and seeing shows. So, and I think I made a post that was like, I want to collaborate with some folks. I think Bryce responded, and then I started listening to Bryce's music, and I was like, this is brilliant. I'm like really excited. And
yeah.
yeah, we just started playing together and it was a perfect fit. I feel like we have a lot of the same influences and aesthetic leanings, so it's just been like an honor and like yeah, because they're so talented.
Because,
Just
I saw you solo and then I saw you with Bryce. It's like, wow, you've picked up your game with this guy, with this
oh,
gentleman. He really he knows your moves. He knows everything you do. It's great. But you put so much energy into each song. That's what I love about you, Abbie. It's such this, you really put your heart and soul into all your vocals. And that's really talented to do that.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's an important part of you who you are. And
thanks.
in that. Now I wanted to ask you about before we go to the record, how was Japan? You went to Japan,
Uh,
right?
yeah, May 2024. four. I did 5 shows in Japan. It was such a
Wow.
blast. Yeah, I got to play at Namba Bears in Osaka, which is like one of those OG like Japan noise venues.
Oh, wow.
There were like tourists there who were there to see some, like some Japanese noise, and they got me instead.
I bet you
But
they loved it.
yeah, I hope so. It was a really cool spot, and just the sound was great at every venue. Like the crowds were like really attentive in a way
Yes,
that,
they are there. Yep.
work. Yeah. Yeah, I loved playing there. And the other acts I played with too, I feel like were really top notch. Like it made me
Mm,
think New York got to step up its game a little.
yeah. Well,
I was
Japan is
really
so
impressed.
they're so concerned and neat about everything. And they're all musos there. They all know everything about music. Every little thing about bands. I mean, when we played over there, I was shocked about people coming up with the records, and it's really a very unique place. And I could see how your music would fit in.
That's cool to hear. I feel like a lot of my favorite music tends to be popular in Japan, so
Okay.
it felt like it made sense for
So I
me.
think I saw the inside of your record here has a Japanese saying, right?
I
Something.
That photo was taken in Chinatown, so I think it was outside of a
Oh, okay.
like Buddhist temple, honest. I think it was.
That's
But
really neat.
walking around Chinatown getting photos, yeah.
So I want to talk about the record. You always wanted to be a part of what went on in places like this.
Long title.
So before we go on, I went to your little release party, and now I see how that fits in. You were going over all these different places that once were. So that was kind of neat.
Totally. Yeah, I mean uh a lot of me moving to New York and a lot of the feelings on the record are around like New York has this storied history and like all this amazing music that came out of it, and like I want to be part of that, and just like that,
Yeah.
like I want to be in that too, you know?
Yeah. So here's the record here. Everybody, please get out and buy it. Now you have it on cassette too, right?
Yeah, CD
Great.
and
So
and
you decided to have somebody else mix it, Dale Eisinger. What's his background? Because he really did a great job on this.
yeah, he's done a ton of music projects over the years. He's been in like an industrial like noisy duo, or
Okay.
actually two industrial noisy duos that I know of. He's
Mm,
been part of Yvette and Horse Lover Fats is one that I have a tape of. What else did I feel like he's currently in this band Tiny Gun, which he's drumming for that guy Kareem. I don't know if you ever see those videos, Subway takes, where the guy like interviews
no.
the subway. It's like getting really popular, but he like drums with that guy, so
Mm,
real tapped in and also has like really good taste and just I don't know, has that kind of perfect balance of experimentalism and like going aggressively
yeah.
toward trying something, and also like with a pop sensibility and like knows how to make things accessible and inviting, which is exactly what I was wanting for this record. I was like, I want to not compromise any of the experimental stuff and the wildness of it, but I also want
Yeah.
to like figure a way to make it as inviting to people who think they don't like experimental music as possible, and just make it almost like a poppier record for
Yeah,
me.
it is. I mean, but sometimes it's good to have somebody else mix your music just so you get a different perspective from somebody else, their view of what it's supposed to sound like with your input, of course.
Totally.
But
Yeah, don't
I
have the
found, go
skills.
ahead.
Oh
So
yeah.
I find, you added some, not only myself, but you added Jeff on sax and you had all these artists. So how did that come about? I mean, getting these great people to play on it.
Yeah, that was something I knew I wanted to do with this record from the outset. Because I feel like part of my becoming part of what went on in places like this in New
Yeah.
York was like meeting all these people that I really admired and thinking like,
Mm,
oh my gosh, like this really talented musician like thinks that what I'm doing is cool. So I like really wanted to sort of tap into the like networks that I was building in my first couple years. And so I knew I wanted to have a lot of collaborations, and yeah, they're just people I like met at shows or have
yeah.
played bills with, and Bryce is on a track, of course,
Of
and
course, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So did this help with the radio show though? Also, you were able to network with that, or was it just the local community of like New York that you've found people,
Both.
musicians?
I think aside from you, who I found through
Yeah.
FMU, I think all the other collaborators I found just from playing shows. And then
Oh,
one of them
okay.
is my dad. My dad also plays drums on one of the songs.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So I was really happy to feature him and give
That
him a
is nice.
chance to play for publicly, you know.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you're going to have more records, I'm sure of that. That's going to happen. I know that. So, you're on We Are Friends Records. I've never heard of this label. Is this a small indie label? We Are Friends
Yeah.
Records?
Yeah, We Be Friends Records. They put out a lot of tapes. I think how long has it been going on? But it's run by a friend Justin, who I met through my partner Brian, and yeah, he's got his project is called Reaches, and it's very sim like I feel like it feels very similar in
Mm,
style to mine, with like kind of dancey, quirky electronic stuff, and also like really intense
that's
vocals.
great.
I really like his music. Um, and so it just seemed like a natural fit. And he does, yeah, I don't know, he's really fair and like good about like, I don't know, we have similar views on
Well,
like
that's
the,
what you need, you know? And you don't
yeah,
want to be bothered with all the marketing stuff. You want to concentrate on doing music and playing music. And, that always is a big plus. Because
totally.
if you're worried about trying to get this to this person, and it takes up a lot of time and energy, and then you get frustrated if somebody doesn't want to take it, and it's, the music scene right now is really difficult.
Yeah.
But artists like yourself, you just keep moving ahead, though. You're determined to make it happen. That's what's nice about it. So, what are
Yeah.
you planning on? What's next in store for Abbie from Mars? Are you gonna do more shows this fall, or are you gonna record more? What's next?
Yeah, I've got a couple local gigs lined up for the fall. I've been scheming, yeah, there's no huge plans, but I've been scheming about like redesigning my live set.
Mm.
Just kind of like making it really like incorporating projections and
Oh,
props,
okay.
extra. I feel like I actually saw Nine Inch Nails, and
You
they're
really, they're intense.
yeah, and I was just really inspired. They had like two stages, it's huge like stadium show, but they had like their little stage with their electronic setup, and they had their rock stage, and they kind
Mm.
of kept going between them. And I was thinking about like how do you do like something like this within the crazy lighting and projections? I was like, how do you do something like this, but at like a back of a bar, like small venue? Like what would
Yeah.
that version of that look like? And so I feel like the gears have been turning of like how can you make the most of a small space and
Mm.
make feel bigger or make there be different sets within one small space. Like, how can I do that? And even just with small props, like a pop-up tent or something. Like, what
Oh,
can I
that's
do?
neat.
I've been thinking about that
You
for,
know, neat with everything coming out like these holograms. Maybe you could have a hologram of yourself in one spot, then you, and then just all over the place. Like, where's Abby? And the music coming. I picture that.
I love it. I love it. The
Running here and tap dancing there. So there's a lot of possibilities, Abby, with your talent.
Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been really nice to be able to meet you and play on the record too. I mean, it was like everything sounds really good.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm so happy with how it turned out. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was so worth all the extra time spent on it compared to my previous releases and just yeah, it was worth slowing down and like getting the right people on it and just really making it something
Well,
special.
that's
So,
the important thing to get the right people and the right vibe to make it right. Now you're going to be happy with it. You'll listen to it, down the road and say, "Wow, I did a good job on this."
yeah.
And that's what it's all about. So,
Yeah.
and then, so after this, you're going to take a little break. Are you going to ever do like a tour? Have you ever thought about that after this? Like I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty rough tours, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've done some smaller tours here and there in the past. I did a Midwest tour, I did like a California tour, and I did my Japan tour. Um, I'm like not super like sold on the idea that you have to tour a record when it
Mm,
comes out. I'm like
right.
in whenever I have vacation days from work and a good reason to travel, then I'll do a tour and like
Yeah. Oh,
I
that
feel
makes
like
sense.
I want to keep playing around, but just like on my own schedule,
Yeah.
and yeah, but
Well,
I will love the
well,
to do that again.
well,
Yeah.
you're young. You got plenty of time. There's so much more technology coming out for you to add to your set and your sound. So the sky's the limit for your ability. That's for
Yeah.
sure. So where can we find the music on Bandcamp to buy the
Yeah,
records?
Bandcamp's
Okay.
the best place to go to buy it and hear it, and streaming services, it's available
Mm.
there too, but Bandcamp's the place to get the goods.
So
So
what do you think of the current music trend now? I mean, with AI and all this artificial technology with music and video and everything, where do you think it's going?
yeah, I think people are afraid of imperfection more than ever, maybe, or maybe
Mm.
not, but I think I don't know. People like don't have as much of a sense of humor, and I don't know
Right.
if this is caused by, tech. I think technology. I had this conversation with someone recently. Technology, the fact that people can take videos of you all the time, I feel like has made people self-conscious that they don't want to like be too crazy or like be too
Yeah,
like
I agree.
they really want to look cool and like I feel like on Instagram and you just see bands and they're like
Yeah.
they're all like,
Yeah. You're
there's no one
right.
smiling or like, I don't know, who seeming like real people. And maybe that's like been true to some extent always, but I feel like there's a fear, there's like being ironic is really in and like being cool seems important because anyone can post a picture of you at any
That's
time
it.
thing.
So
So I think
anybody could be
really
anybody that
back.
wants to be famous now can be famous on Facebook by just posting a lot of things and saying, "Well, this is me. I'm on here," and so. But unfortunately, there's a drawback to that. And now, plus, we're video. Everybody's videotaped everywhere, so
Yeah.
that people are conscious of that. And then I see a lot of people just walking attached to their phones, even walking with it now. Earbuds. I mean, it's just totally isolation. It's
Yeah.
kind of a strange thing, but well,
Yeah.
I
I think
think
people
with
are less
AI, we can't
human
be
now.
afraid of it. We just have to go with it and work with it
Yeah. Yeah, I
instead
think
of the
AI
fear
can be
factor.
fun and funny if you like don't take it seriously. I feel like people who take AI seriously are not they don't I don't know. They're trying too hard and people
Right.
who it are like a little bit in denial. But
Mm.
I think it can be a creative tool. I think
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
here and it's not gonna re I don't know. I think it doesn't function as well in the workplace as everyone as the big companies want it to. And so I don't think it's gonna like take over the world as fast as everyone says. But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think we need to keep ourselves human. I think we need to
Right, right.
in our music.
See,
And I think
I grew up in the non-cell phone era,
mhm,
so this whole with the people glued to their phones all the time. I mean, I do it too, but it's like a constant distraction, you know? We're
totally.
constantly looking at it, but what are you going to do? That's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about it? It's just we have to control it somehow and try to just get away from it a little bit, enjoy the outside, walk around, enjoy
Yeah.
the reality of what's here instead of just glued to this technology like that. But well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll be curious to see. Well, Abbie, this was great. Finally, you finally got on here, and good luck here coming up. And I'm sure we'll be in touch with other projects, or if you need any help with anything else in the future, just give me a ring.
I so appreciate it, Dennis. It was a
All right.
chat.
And we both have our shirts on, and that's it. There we go. Primitive substance. All right, Abbie. Nice talking to you. Have a
See
good
you.
night. See ya.